Okay, so how to create a Niagara system that can spawn new particles in the same emitter runtime. Let's create Niagara system, choose single open particle template, call it blah blah, save, open, stop this, delete this, we don't need that, reset this, uncheck this to set particle immortal, and set this once infinite and system once, since it's gonna be really long time. So let's dive into spawn burst instantaneous burst. This, let's Control D to duplicate and call it like new. Now delete that, call our news. Now dive in, let's inspect. Step 1, count not equal 0, it's spawn count. That's all good. Step 2, valid age. There is a loop logic that we don't need. We don't need about that. Don't care about that. We don't need that. We don't need spawn probability. We don't need that. We don't need that. Here, 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 here. Delete, delete, delete. Okay. Remove that, remove that. So basically what it is doing, it's checking that age of this emitter is not, that is valid. Just that is valid. And that's spawn start delta time. That's crucial for spawn info, I guess. Now about spawn info. We don't need has spawned this frame boolean. Well, I don't need that. So remove it and don't change anything else. All good. This is what tells the emitter to spawn new particles. It tells like how much particle and like when. But I'm not sure about this when. But anyway. Compile, save, close. So show particle count to see how much particle was spawning. And let's see that it is spawning. It spawns one particle each frame. So we want to control that. Let's create user parameter. Name it new total spawned particles. And to track how much we have spawned particles, let's set emitter variable, name it total spawned particles, and set new total spawned particles into that. We can do this differently, but you will figure it out by yourself. I'm here to only show what you need to do to spawn new particles. So I will track how much we need to spawn and how much we already spawned. So to calculate how much we need to spawn, we need to subtract from new the old. So it goes to this, it reads new user parameter, subtracting into total spawn particles, write spawned info, then goes to that and rewrite total spawned particles. And that way it doesn't spawn anything because it's 0, and if we set 5, it's gonna spawn 5 particles at the start frame. So we're gonna set this to 0, and next what we want is to set create a blueprint in which we can control this user parameter. That's actor, BP, SD, don't care about that. Place it into a level, open it, add Niagara component, set your Niagara, ls. Now on the event, we don't need a begin overlap. We need to track this variable total spawn particles integer. On begin play, we set it to 0, and on custom events spawn new particles, we will increase it by 1. Now we need to set into variable new total spawn particles. Always check that that's the right name, new total spawn particles, and this. And since we can call this event multiple times in one frame, we always want to send data to Niagara maximum once in one frame. So for that we need to add a new variable, call it be sent, set it false at the end, set it true at the event, and on the event tick branch, if it's true, then send, and then set it to false, like we set it. Don't do this anymore. Okay, now it's working, and we will spawn them, but in one place. So for that we need to move them, and we need to make offset. Multiply vector by float, make float from int, and make int from id. Particles unique id. For that, check requires persistent id, and make this vector to move it by x-axis. And that's all. Now let's check it. Oh, no, it's not all. We need to call this event. For that, let's set timer by event. Event dispatcher, create event, spawn particles, looping with delay in 0.2, compile, save, run. Now it's spamming. Now let's test that this batch update method is working. Let's do loop. It's basically the same way that it will call from different actors in one frame, but this way we just can control times. So it's gonna call it 4 times. So it's gonna spawn in one frame 4 particles, and poof, that's working. That's alright. So it is working as intended at the end.